And this is not an insult to Devonta Smith, because I think Devonta Smith is a tremendous player. I think you know my thoughts on that. However, because of the circumstance of the Eagles and where they are as an offense, I was starting to think to myself, you know what? Landon Dickerson's been more important to this team than Devonta Smith.
We would be John McMullen and Jordan McDonald, your Mac and Mac Birds 365 guys. That was number 2 on a Monday, where we thought we were going to be talking about the Eagles after a game, after a victory of the Washington football team. Didn't happen. COVID kicked in. The league started to juggle some balls. They end up suspending or postponing the game till Tuesday night, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, and we all just have to deal with it. But the Eagles have to find a way to win this football game. And because we've been so distracted and there are so many different ways of looking at what happened and why it happened and how the NFL reacted and how the Eagles are being unfairly treated here, that's what we've been talking about for the majority of the first hour of our show. However, they are going to play the game tomorrow, John. And you and I just talked about the quarterback. You gave it a much higher than 50% chance Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter. Even if he is, are the Eagles going to go ground and pound? The Eagles have had ups and downs and runs in their season. The best football they've played is when they run the ball heavily. A lot of that includes Jalen Hurts on quarterback-designed run plays, which he may not be called upon to do as much because of the condition of his ankle, which means do they just hand it off to Miles Sanders and maybe a returning Jordan Howard and Kenny Gainwell and Boston Scott? Give us a little crystal ball look at how you think the Eagle offense is going to go against a Washington football team, which is getting guys back. They've got a bunch of guys that were in the testing protocol. You told us what was the number? 21 out of 23 were screaming and yelling, going, we're fine. Yeah. Why the hell are we not practicing? Why are we not playing? We're not feeling any effects of this positive test. But they still did miss some downtime, some practice, some reps. So it's going to be a not quite 100%. And, oh, by the way, there are still a bunch of guys in the protocol, but they did get a bunch back, too. How is the Eagle game plan going to play itself out on Tuesday night?
Yeah, I think they are going to try to run the football. And we've been through this. We've had sort of this streak of games where they faced teams that had good run defenses on paper and they ran it anyway. And we're in another circumstance of that. If you look at Washington, and, their best player is going to be back, and that's Jonathan Allen, and he is a really, really good player. They're much better on paper at run defense than pass defense. So it would make you have cause and say, well, maybe Jalen's not 100%, as you said. Let's try to pass the ball. It's easy to pass the ball on this team. I don't think the Eagles will fall into that trap. They seem to have corrected that and say, we can run the football on anyone, and they have. They're the number 1 ranked run offense in the league now officially. They've been off the charts for the past 6 weeks. However, big part of that was Landon Dickerson and those huge combo blocks on the left side with Jordan Mailata just devastating and dominating people to the point where I was starting to say, when we actually talked about football, you might remember, Jody, I was starting to say, and this is not an insult to Devonta Smith, because I think Devonta Smith is a tremendous player. I think you know my thoughts on that. However, because of the circumstance of the Eagles and where they are as an offense, I was starting to think to myself, you know what? Landon Dickerson's been more important to this team than Devonta Smith. I see you shaking your head, but you get my point. He's played very well. And now he's most likely not going to be in there. And now you have Sua Opeta. Now, it was about 2 weeks ago, who Jason Kelsey said, Sua's a Tesla stock, he called him. He's about to explode. He's been dominating in practice. I'd rather have Landon Dickerson in there.
As would I. And here's the reason why I shook my head. I get the point you're trying to make, but I think there's a better way to put it. You said that Landon Dickerson's a more important rookie on the Eagles than Devonta Smith. Well, I think the easiest way to determine that is take him out of the lineup, put someone else in his place. Where is the bigger drop-off? You tell me. You put in Suopeta for Landon Dickerson, or you put JJ Arcega-Whiteside in for Devonta Smith. Where is the bigger drop-off?
Yeah, but I think that probably has sadly more to do with the other player. You know, I mean, we've talked about the Eagles, the other players. We've talked about the Eagles receiver
the
issues
importance on the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles part of that is judging the other players who are coming in to
no, I get what you're saying, but I guess my retort to that would be they're going to run the football in the second circumstance, and they're going to run the football in the second circumstance. So that is more of my viewpoint. They're a running offense now, which Eagles fans love, and they should love it. And they're going to run the football with Devonta Smith, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You should get him the football. And they're going to run the football with JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Whereas, and that's not Devontae's fault. That's just where they are as an offense. So they're going to run the football either way. And the question is, can Suopeta be the latest? I'm starting to think that Jeff Stoutland has a greenhouse out in the Philly suburbs, and he's just growing guards out there. And we'll see if he's got another one. Maybe he does. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I think Landon Dickerson is really, really started to come on as he's gotten more comfortable, more away from the torn ACL he suffered in December. And, man, some of those combo blocks with either way, the Eagles got it right in the first and second round for the first time in a very, very long time. And, maybe stick with that Alabama theme to make
here's where I would happy. Here's the way I would have described your point if and I'm not disagreeing with your evaluation of the players, just the way that you stated it. If you graded out all the guards in the NFL, the starting guards in the NFL, that'd be 64 of them, 32 teams, 2 apiece. And you graded out all the wide receivers, the top 2 wide receivers on every National Football League team, I would think that, Landon Dickerson might grade out higher in comparison to all the other starting guards in the league than Devonta Smith would against all the other starting wide receivers in the National Football League. That makes the point you're trying to make, but just in the vacuum that is the Philadelphia Eagles, if the Eagles didn't have Devonta Smith, can you play 3 safeties in the box? The other teams would come in here and go, we dare you to throw the football. We're going to put everybody, 11 in the box. We got 11 football players. We're going to put 11 in the box because we don't have any faith you can throw the football at all if they didn't have Devonta Smith. That's why I say he may be more important to the Eagles than Landon Dickerson, but it doesn't mean he's been a better rookie player than Landon Dickerson. All right, you're right. Suopeta has been getting lots of compliments in practice from his teammates, and they believe he's ready to step in and play. We'll see on Tuesday night if that's actually the case. You don't believe that's going to change Nick Sirianni's play calling one iota that Dickerson is out of the lineup, do you?
I don't think it will. I really don't. And remember, we're down, forget, you don't even think about Brandon Brooks and Isaac Seumalo.
Brandon Brooks, wait, get Ed Kratz on the line. Is Brandon Brooks actually getting time this week in practice? And we had a sighting. Is he even in the state of Pennsylvania right now? Do we know?
No sighting, no information, no nothing. Jack Driscoll just had ankle surgery. We knew he was out for the year, but so now we're down to Nate Herbig and Suopeta at offensive guard. And you know what? Jeff Stoutland will make him better than at least half of the
oh my
guard
God,
duos.
Eagle fans are going to hate that I bring this up, but I have to bring it up. What happens if Kelsey goes out?
Yeah, that would be interesting. They still have, remember, they have Brett Toth, they have LaRaven Clark. They could bring up Coyote Awasika, get him thrown into the mix. Luke Juriga's back. They have a lot of bodies.
No, I'm talking about in game.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
is one of those guys going to be activated for the game on?
Oh yeah, understand. Remember, if Landon Dickerson's out, you get a COVID replacement, so you can elevate somebody from the practice squad as a COVID replacement. You have your normal practice squad elevations. They could activate every single one of those names if they wanted to. They're going to have the ability. I think certainly LaRaven Clark's going to be up. I think certainly Brett Toth is going to be up, and they probably elevate one of those two.
Well, when you say up, they are eligible to be activated, but you still got to come up with 53 names on Tuesday night, right?
No, well, 47. Yeah, but I think they're going to dress when I meant they're going to dress. Remember, you don't have, you're not going to have Landon Dickerson, most likely. Jack Driscoll's gone. You have room, you have slots to dress guys. They need backup offensive linemen. They're going to dress backup offensive linemen. It's interesting when Kelsey has his maintenance days at practice, which are quite a few these days. Typically, when that happens and guys are healthy, Nate Herbig takes the center snaps. Well, Nate Herbig has to take the right guard snaps. So Brett Toth has been the one filling in at center for Jason Kelsey when he has his maintenance days. So that would indicate to me that he's going to be up and he's going to be dressed. And LaRaven Clark, I think, is going to be dressed as a swing tackle, but he could also play guard. And they might even dress, as I said, they might even elevate another one just in case. But they'll have plenty of bodies. That won't be an issue. The question is, are those bodies good enough? And, Jason Kelsey's dealing with a lot of stuff. I think people just assume he's going to make it through the game, just assume he's going to play. That's not – he's going to play. The question is, can he make it through the game?
One last question, and then we'll get Michael K of NJ.com up here next. Quez Watkins cleared protocol, so he is back on the active roster, which means he can play, means he's going to start. But he did miss a week, but it was a lesser week to begin with. John McMullen prognostication. Who gets more snaps this week? Jalen Reagor or Quez Watkins?
Well, again, it always depends. Are they going to run for 200 yards or are they going to run for 80 yards? If it's, if they're going to have to throw the football more, in other words, if they're playing a lot of 11, if they're playing a lot of 11 personnel, I think it's Quez Watkins. If they're playing more 12 and 13 because they're dominating and they're just running the football, I think Jalen is again sort of the crash test dummy to seal the edge and as they just run the football. So everything is dependent, but if they need to throw the ball, I would say Quez Watkins.
We shall see. Got to wait to Tuesday night to find out. All right. Mac and Mac taking a quickie Birds 365 timeout. When we come back, Michael K of NJ.com. There you go. Beat Writer's going to hop aboard here with us.